Here are some potential lessons you might learn from John Asher's The Neuroscience of Selling book. Have you ever wondered how your brain affects your buying decisions? Welcome to the fascinating world of the neuroscience of selling, a concept that takes us on a journey into the human brain, the driving force behind our buying decisions. It's a fascinating exploration into how understanding the brain can enhance your sales strategy. In the realm of sales, the power of neuroscience is often underestimated. It's not just about the product or the pitch, but about tapping into the buyer's brain, their emotions, memories, and even their hormones. It's about understanding that people buy based on emotions and then use logic to justify their choices. The role of the old and new brain, the mirror neuron system, and even the role of oxytocin in building trust. It's a fascinating exploration that combines science and sales. Let's dive deeper into some lessons we can learn from this approach. Did you know that emotions often drive our buying decisions? It's a fascinating aspect of human behavior, isn't it? When we're confronted with a purchasing choice, our emotions kick into gear, steering us towards what we feel is the best option. But here's the twist: once we've made an emotional decision, our rational mind steps in to justify it. Think about it. Have you ever bought something on a whim, perhaps a new gadget or a pair of shoes, and later found yourself citing practical reasons for the purchase? That's your logical brain at work, providing a rational explanation for an emotion-driven choice. This intricate dance between emotion and logic is something we all engage in, often without realizing it, and it plays a crucial role in our buying decisions. By understanding this dynamic, we can tailor our sales approach to address not only the emotional needs of our customers, but also their logical considerations. So, addressing both emotional needs and logical considerations is key. Ever been captivated by a good story? It's a universal experience. Stories have the power to draw us in, to make us feel, and most importantly, to make us remember. Now, imagine harnessing that power in a sales context. Storytelling is not just an ancient art form or a modern marketing buzzword. It's a neuroscience-backed strategy that activates parts of the brain associated with emotion and memory. When you tell a story, you're not just providing information. You're creating an emotional experience. You're painting a vivid picture that can linger in the listener's mind long after the conversation has ended. A good story can make your product or service more relatable, more memorable, and more appealing. It can be the difference between a forgettable pitch and a compelling narrative that genuinely connects with your buyer's emotions and experiences. Remember, a well-told story is a powerful sales tool. Did you know you have an old brain and a new brain? That's right, the old brain, also known as the reptilian brain, is all about survival. It's primal, instinctive. It's the part that reacts to immediate threats and rewards, and it's incredibly powerful when it comes to decision-making. On the other hand, the new brain, or the neocortex, is where logic and reasoning live. It's the part of our brain that allows us to think, plan, and imagine. It's where we process information, consider options, and make calculated decisions. Understanding these two distinct brain systems can give you an edge in sales. By crafting a message that appeals to both the emotional, instinctive old brain and the logical, reasoning new brain, you can engage your prospects on multiple levels. You can tap into their primal instincts while also providing the rational justification they need to make a purchase. Tailoring your message to both systems can help influence buying decisions. Ever noticed how you feel more comfortable with people who mirror your behavior? That's the mirror neuron system at work. This fascinating neurological phenomenon allows us to subtly connect with others by reflecting their body language and speech patterns. It's a silent dialogue that builds rapport without a single word being said. Imagine a scenario where you're engaging with a potential buyer. As they lean in, you subtly lean in. When they speak in a soft tone, you match your voice to theirs. These small, seemingly insignificant actions can foster a sense of familiarity and comfort, making the buyer more receptive to your pitch. Now let's talk about a tiny little hormone with a big impact: oxytocin. Oxytocin is often referred to as the trust hormone. It's released during positive social interactions, and it's what helps us form emotional bonds with others. So, how does this relate to sales? Well, by building positive interactions with your prospects, you're essentially encouraging the release of oxytocin, thereby fostering a sense of trust. And trust, my friends, is the cornerstone of any successful sales relationship. It's the bridge that connects you with your prospects, making them more open to your proposals. So, how do we build this trust? This brings us to the power of active listening. It's not enough to just hear what your prospects are saying, you need to genuinely understand their needs, concerns, and desires. By doing so, you're showing them that you value their input and that you're not just there to make a quick sale. When you actively listen, you're not only gathering valuable information about your prospect's needs, but you're also building a foundation of trust and rapport. Remember, each interaction with your prospect is an opportunity to build on this trust. Be patient, be genuine, and most importantly, be present. After all, sales is not just about selling a product or a service, it's about building relationships. Building rapport and trust with your prospects is crucial in the sales process. So take the time to understand, mirror, and genuinely engage with your prospects. Trust me, it will make all the difference. Do you feel more inclined to buy something if it's limited edition or on sale for a short time? This is a classic example of how the sense of scarcity and urgency can powerfully influence our buying decisions. Our brain is wired to react to limited availability or time-sensitive deals. It's a survival instinct, dating back to our early ancestors who had to compete for scarce resources. This instinct makes us want to grab opportunities before they slip away, even in today's world of abundant choices. When a product is framed as scarce or available for a limited time, it creates a sense of urgency. This urgency can be a powerful motivator, compelling us to act now rather than later. It's like a ticking clock, pushing us to make a decision before time runs out. But it's not just about creating urgency, it's also about how you frame your product or service. And this is where positive framing comes into play. When we talk about positive framing, we're focusing on the benefits and positive outcomes that a product or service can provide. Instead of dwelling on potential negatives or what a customer might lose, we highlight what they stand to gain. Imagine you're selling a fitness program. Instead of saying, if you don't join our program, you'll continue to struggle with weight issues. You could frame it positively by saying, our program will help you achieve your dream body and boost your self-confidence. The brain responds more favorably to positive framing. It's more appealing, more persuasive, and it paints a picture of a desirable future that the customer can aspire to. So, the next time you're crafting your sales pitch, remember the power of scarcity, urgency, and positive framing. Use these tools wisely to influence buying decisions and motivate your buyers. Highlight benefits and create a sense of urgency to motivate your buyers. Because when it comes to selling, it's not just about what you're offering, but how you frame it and the sense of urgency you create. Have ever heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression? This is especially true in sales. First impressions are crucial because they set the tone for the entire sales relationship. It's not just about looking sharp or having a firm handshake. It's about projecting confidence, professionalism, and a genuine interest in the buyer. Remember, people don't buy from companies, they buy from people they trust and relate to. Now, let's talk about the brain's reward system and the role of positive reinforcement in the sales process. Our brain is wired to seek rewards and avoid penalties. This is why the brain's reward system is so powerful. It's driven by dopamine, a neurotransmitter that signals pleasure and satisfaction. When our brain anticipates a reward, it releases dopamine, creating feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. In the context of sales, positive reinforcement is the reward. It's about acknowledging and celebrating small wins throughout the sales process. This could be as simple as expressing appreciation when a prospect shares a piece of information, or celebrating when a buyer moves one step closer to a purchase. This positive reinforcement triggers the release of dopamine, keeping the buyer engaged and motivated towards a sale. The key here is consistency. Regular, small rewards often work better than one big reward at the end. It's like a breadcrumb trail of positivity, leading your prospect closer and closer to the sale. Think of the sales process as a journey. The first impression is the starting point, and positive reinforcement is the fuel that keeps the journey going. Both are crucial to reach your destination, a successful sale. In conclusion, understanding the neuroscience behind first impressions and positive reinforcement can significantly enhance your sales strategy. It's about creating a positive, rewarding experience that motivates your buyer to take the next step. After all, who doesn't enjoy a journey filled with positivity and rewards? Making a positive first impression and celebrating small wins can go a long way in securing a sale. So, what can we take away from all this? We've learned that emotions, not logic, are the primary drivers of purchasing decisions. We've explored the power of storytelling, learning how it can deeply engage our buyers and make our offerings more memorable. We've dissected the brain, understanding the primal old brain and the logical new brain and how to appeal to both. We've discovered the subtle art of rapport building, using mirroring techniques and positive interactions to foster trust. We've seen how scarcity and urgency can prompt action, while positive framing keeps the focus on benefits. We've noted the importance of first impressions and the power of positive reinforcement in keeping buyers engaged. Lastly, we've underscored the importance of active listening, of truly hearing the needs and concerns of our prospects. All these insights are rooted in understanding the buyer's brain to craft a persuasive and effective sales strategy. Remember, the brain holds many secrets to successful selling. Happy selling!